Let's talk about the breakdown of the nervous system functionally, at least. We've talked about neurons, which are the excitable cell of the nervous system, but we can break the nervous system down into the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, and that's what we'll do in this video. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord, and we've talked about previously that the brain is a significant integrating center for the nervous system and for the whole body. And the brain and spinal cord have a wide breadth of functions: thought, decision making, emotions, memory, and the list goes on and on. But for now, let's just think of the central nervous system, the main processing center of the nervous system, and most input needs to go to and leave the central nervous system. So the other component of the nervous system is the peripheral nervous system, otherwise known as the PNS. What I have shown in orange here are nerves. Nerves are merely bundles of axons. So there's going to be individual neurons and axons within the central nervous system. And I say individually, but they're all really densely populated within the central nervous system. But a nerve, which is what we see in orange here, is a collection of axons. So the cell bodies are really outside the nerves. Axon terminals are outside the nerves. But a nerve is a collection of axons. That's why oftentimes I will refer to, or books will refer to axons as nerve fibers, because they are fibers running within a nerve. There could be hundreds of axons within one single nerve. And nerves are going to either emanate away from the central nervous system, from the brain or the spinal cord, or they are going to bring information to the brain or spinal cord. So let's take a look at the peripheral nervous system in a little more detail. We can divide the peripheral nervous system up into the efferent pathway and into the afferent pathway. Efferent is the motor pathway. It's taking signals away from the CNS. That is to say, the central nervous system has processed information and determined what needs to happen downstream, that is out in the periphery within the whole body. So the efferent nervous system is going to take information away. It's also known as the motor division of the PNS. The afferent pathway is the sensory pathway, and it's taking sensory information to the brain and spinal cord, to the central nervous system, to determine what needs to happen as a result of the given sensation. You touch a hot stove, that sensation goes to the brain decides you should probably move your hand off of that hot stove. So afferent division is going towards the central nervous system with sensory information. The efferent pathway is taking information away from the central nervous system, and that's also known as the motor division. So let's take a look at the motor division in a little more detail, which is historically divided up into the somatic motor division and the visceral motor division. Somatic motor tends to be voluntary, involving skeletal muscle, among other things. Visceral motor is also known as the autonomic nervous system, ANS, which is involuntary. And we do split that up even more into the parasympathetic and sympathetic components of the visceral motor, or of the ANS. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. Sympathetic is fight or flight. We'll talk about all of these in detail. I just wanted to give you a basic breakdown of the functional divisions of the nervous system.